This is Tisha Mary with Giving Group Realty, and I'm here today with K9 for Warriors, and I'm meeting with Carly Braun. She is the development manager, and we're going to learn a little bit more about what your organization does and how we can help you.
Yay. Yes, thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate all you've done already, and I look forward to sharing our mission.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your mission.
So at K9s for Warriors, we provide service dogs for veterans that suffer from either PTSD, traumatic brain injury, and or military sexual trauma. So our warriors come from all over the United States. We even have folks in Guam and Puerto Rico that we help. We primarily get our service dogs from shelters. So that's kind of where our mission comes in, is in that you are saving two lives, as we say. So we rescue the doggo, and then the dog works to rescue the warrior.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That is so fantastic. Thank you for doing that. What got you guys started in doing this mission?
This is like one of my favorite parts, is that we were founded, we always say founded on a mother's love. So we were founded by Missionary Duvall. He has a son that went overseas as a contractor, and he obviously saw some awful stuff when he was over there. And when he came back, he wasn't the same man that she had sent off. And he had a dog that turned him into, the best version of himself. I can relate. When I'm with my dogs, I'm like a baby talking, singing, goofy person. And that's exactly what was happening with him. So they got his dog trained to be a service animal. And he, was greatly impacted by his dog. And she thought, well, if you were changed by this dog, then maybe other folks could be too. And she was right. We were founded in 2011. And since then, we have rescued, I believe we're at 853 warriors.
Oh my goodness. That is a really big number in a short period of time. Must be very well received. What goes into the training process with the dog?
So it totally depends on the dog, just like with kids. Some take more and some take less, but we typically say it's about a 6-month process. What we do is we go to the shelters and rescue these dogs. So we're looking for a certain height requirement. We go off of Assistance Dogs International guidelines. So we're looking for a certain weight, a certain height, and then we're testing the drive of the dog. You want them to have the drive, but not like that of a K9, like a police dog. They have major drive, and that, is maybe a little too much for what we're looking for in a companionship. Once they pass that test, they come to our campus in either our campus in Florida or campus in Texas, and they begin training. So sometimes we have to unlearn the shelter behavior. Sometimes we have to learn to be good boys and girls and not, lunge at the kennel or walk well on a leash. And then after we learn all of that, then we can add the service cues. So we're learning things like, obviously every dog does sit down, things like that, but we use things like stand. Stand is where one of our dogs will go parallel in front of the warrior just to kind of create space. So if you're at a grocery store and maybe someone's standing a little too close to you, you can put your palm out and the dog goes in a stand. It's kind of a polite way to use the dog to allow there to be some room between you and someone, or room in a crowd. Hypervigilance is a huge symptom of our warriors. So using your dog to create space, whether that be in a stand, or we also have look. Look is when the dog is sitting but facing your back, kind of like they have your six and they're watching your back. Things like that. And then after that, they go through many milestone tests. So we're testing about 3 to 4 times throughout the process. And then they go on to meet their warrior.
Oh, fantastic. How would a warrior get in touch with K9 for Warriors if they felt like they could use this type of support?
Yeah, they'll go to our website, k9sforwarriors.org, and they will apply for the program. So it is an application process, and that's just because we want to really get to know everyone. And unfortunately, some folks don't qualify for the program, and that just means sometimes they need a mobility dog. Our dogs mitigate the symptoms of kind of those things that you can't see, like hypervigilance and things like that. If a warrior needs a dog to provide physical help, then they would not be a candidate for the program. But it all starts with the application process. So that would be step number one. And even if you're not a candidate for the program, or you don't know for sure, I would just apply, and then someone from our Warrior Operations team will get in touch. So you will have a human at our organization that is emailing you and making sure you're safe and okay. That's one of the things that I'm most proud of, is our Warrior Operations team that is kind of like a warm hug when you apply. You're not getting a robot or an automated message, you're getting a human.
Oh, what a wonderful connection that you guys are making, and a difference for those that have fought for our freedoms and our protections, which I'm very passionate about, and trying to hold back tears talking to you a little bit actually about what it is that you guys are doing to make a difference. It makes me very sad, those that have had so much that they've given. And this is such a wonderful way that you're able to give back from that. And thank you so much for what you're doing on that.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for your support. It takes a whole lot of us to wrap our arms around those that need us. So you're in the fight against it, and I appreciate everything you do.
Absolutely. So for the cost of one of the dogs, how does that work?
Yeah, so to sponsor a dog at K9s for Warriors is $25,000, and that's just shy of the cost that it is to train up one of these dogs. It's about $28,000 to get the dog from procurement to training to meeting their warrior. A lot of things go into play here. So obviously veterinary care. Every single dog that comes through our program gets a full CBC, a full blood screening. We're looking for tick diseases, liver function, kidney values, everything. And then we do an OFA grading, an OFA style grading of their hips. So we're looking for hip dysplasia and things like that, because we want these dogs to work at least 7 years for their veterans. Veterinary care, obviously grooming, all the things like that come into play. And then it's just the training up until they meet their warrior. Sometimes, like I said, it's 6 months. Sometimes it's 8, 9 months to learn how to be good boys and girls. So a lot comes into play. Medical is obviously very expensive, spays and neuters and things like that.
Awesome. Well, part of what we do at Giving Group Realty is help people leave a legacy behind through their real estate. So someone could donate a home to K9 for Warriors and say, when I pass, I want my home to be donated to you. And the average donation in the United States is $550,000. So it sounds to me like if somebody felt called to do that, that would be several dogs that we could help sponsor with that.
Yes, major impact, a lot of dogs, because there's no shortage of veterans that need us. We have a lot of veterans waiting to receive their service dogs. It's just getting these dogs and getting them trained up. So that impact would be a year.
Yeah. And I assume every dollar counts. So even if you're not able to leave your home or some sort of a legacy gift like that, consider K9 for Warriors and how they're giving back to the community, and see how you can help support them. That's my call to you out there. Thank you so much. Is there anything else we should know?
No, just thank you for your time. Thank you everyone for listening. Biggest takeaways for me, and if I could share, to just share our mission. Tell more people about us. If you can't, if you can't support in a financial capacity or a gift capacity, just putting the word out there and letting more veterans know that we're here. We have so many veterans that think that if therapy is not working and medications aren't working, then that's, I get emotional every time I talk about this, then that's it. And there's nothing else out there, but there is. Service dogs save lives.
Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.